City of Miami? I'm not sure. Let me verify. I'll let you know. Let me Google it. We ready? Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of West Miami Regular City Commission. Today is October 16, 2024, and it is 6:04 p.m. I'm your Vice Mayor, Natalie Milian Orbis, and our Mayor will be joining us shortly, but until then, I will preside over the meeting. So please, everybody, let's stand and bow our heads for the invocation, which will be me today. Right? Dear Lord, we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we meet to serve our community tonight. Help us make decisions that reflect fairness and compassion. May we lead with integrity and always keep the well-being of our citizens at the forefront. Bless our work today and protect all who live and serve in our city, especially our police officers and firefighters, and be with everyone who is struggling tonight, Lord. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please
Yes,
do the roll?
item P, roll call. Mayor Eric Diaz-Patron is not present at this moment. Vice Mayor Natalie Milian Orbis.
Present.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Ivan Chavez Jr.
Here.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Vice Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Do we have minutes for approval today?
Yes, item 4, presentation of minutes for approval. Item 4A, August 28, 2024, special commission meeting, preliminary budget, September 10th, 2024, regular commission meeting, tentative budget, and September 25th, 2024, special commission meeting, final budget.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Do we need to do a roll call on that?
Yes, thank you. Item 5, public comments, and we have 2 members of the public who would like to address the city commission. Luz Freire. Yolanda Aguilar.
Thank you. Welcome. Good evening.
Madam Vice Mayor and members of the City Commission, good evening. My name is Yolanda Aguilar. I reside at 6404 Southwest 12th Street. Vice Mayor and City Commissioners, although I know that my concerns have and will continue to fall on deaf ears, I'm here tonight to address matters that should concern you as our municipal leaders. I recently learned that a key member of your staff, Ms. Rangel, the Finance Director, has resigned. Anyone with common sense knows that this resignation is great cause for concern, especially for an employee who earns over $140,000 a year, plus executive benefits. That person wouldn't just walk out of a stable job or a workplace unless there's financial or administrative turmoil. Another longtime employee has resigned due to the present working conditions, and more to come. My question to you all is, how and why are you allowing your administration to continue deteriorating the fiscal and the well-being stability of this city? Most recently, you should be made aware that gasoline cards issued to employees used to fuel city equipment and vehicles are being declined at the pump because the city has not paid its gasoline bills. Employees have been asked to pay for the fuel and get reimbursed. If this is true, it's truly shameful. Additionally, the take-home vehicle situation is out of control. Why would a streets division employee who started less than 6 months ago, who cleans the traffic circles, have a take-home car? That's not an emergency employee. Our other vendors find themselves with the 3 months of payables that are now way past due. On November 5th, 2024, you're asking us to vote on a referendum that would change the landscape of our city elections to your benefit. In my humble opinion, you have not earned this privilege, and I, for one, am voting no. Public records requests are made in writing to the office of the city clerk, and they're not being answered. I suspect that my requests are either not taken seriously or that the truth is contained in the financial reports confirming that you will have a huge deficit at the end of September 30th, 2024, and I previously estimated that it'll be $1.8 million. At this rate, you don't have much time to salvage what has been done here. You have a responsibility to your city residents. People are watching and waking up. Let's stop grandstanding on social media and get to work for our city. I plead with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have another speaker.
Yes, Madam Vice Mayor, Luz Freire.
Hello, I'm Luz Freire. I live at 6367 Southwest 10th Street. To you all, thank you for the time and opportunity you're giving me to go ahead and speak. Along those lines, I don't understand what's going on. You've already said that you're going to hike up the water and garbage fees. I still haven't received a bill yet, number one. Number two, where is the money going? Where are you all the money that you've received, where? The financials are crazy. I don't understand. Are you not looking at the monies that are being spent? People, 110 employees, for what? And people are resigning left and right because the management is not, how can I say this? I don't want to say it rude or whatever. I don't understand why. I see employees looking one at each other when they're working. For what? Why can one employee work? Why does the other employees have to look to see and supervise the job that's being done? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. My husband, not so long ago, Public Works is supposed to be working out there. My husband had to turn around and go pick up a big tree branch from the street on 11th Street. 11th Street. We're going to dinner, and on the way to dinner, he got out of his car, he got the big, humongous branch off the street. Why couldn't a police officer could have stopped? Where are you? Well, I see only one police officer here. They are having to pay their gas to go patrol? Never in my whole 21, 22 years in this city I have ever seen that. Shameful, unbelievable. This is ridiculous. Somebody has to tell me why a city employee has to pay for their gas and then reimbursed, and then and people are not getting paid, the vendors? Come on now. Tell me where the money is.
Thank you. Next item.
Yes, next item is item 6, and report of the city manager.
Mr. Manager.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commission, and residents. First of all, I want to take a moment and wish everybody that got hit by the hurricanes a speedy recovery. I want to also announce that the murder mystery thing for this week has been canceled. Kudos to staff for coming together and doing a good job during the hurricane. I appreciate everybody's efforts. And I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 7, report of the city attorney.
We have a few minor items. Since the last meeting, the city was sued for failure to maintain a sidewalk that is 4 blocks outside of the city limits. Needless to say, that lawsuit should be dismissed. The only question is whether the lawyer should pay sanctions for that. And we had a deposition today of the city clerk because she's the public records custodian and turned over certain public records to litigants who are involved in a homeowner wanting her insurance company to pay, and the insurance company's denied a claim. So that was routine. I think that's it, unless you, at a later time, want a description of the ballot initiatives that are on the ballot for West Miami.
Thank you. Any questions for the city attorney?
That explanation is going to come once the clerk gets the item for the ballot initiatives?
No, those are the ones that you voted to put on the ballot. It's the 4-year term for the mayor, and it's that each commissioner runs citywide still, but runs against whomever else files against them in that numbered race. I could explain it more, but that's what the ballot initiatives we were referring to are.
Right, okay, perfect. So when it comes time, if you can elaborate a little further.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
Item 8, report of the city engineer.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. My only report today is regarding drainage projects. You all will be seeing the start of a couple of small drainage projects here on the west side of the city starting this week. Should have some crews out there. See structures and pipe coming in on 11th and 12th Street over here on the west side. So that'll be starting, and we'll also be starting on the main Phase 2 water main projects, the mains coming up 12th Street and through some of the side streets, but the big pipe will be coming in through 12th, so you'll see that in the coming weeks as well. We're finishing up with a lot of the easement work. We've had, I'm sure maybe you've gotten reports of water breaks and things like that. That's a lot of the work that we've been doing in the easement. Some of the old lines break, we got to fix them, so that's been ongoing and pretty much complete with that work. So we're getting ready to start on all the main work now and the drainage project. So that's all we got. Any
Thank you.
questions?
Any questions for the city engineer?
Is there any update on the crosswalks, Mr. Engineer?
The crosswalks on
13th-ish?
Yes, that's
and-
back into the county. We still haven't gotten feedback on that. We did get, I think I reported in one of the previous meetings that we got approval on the 16th Street traffic circles. So the crosswalks are up next in their review process, along with 57th Court and a few other projects that we're doing traffic studies on right now. So that one should be soon.
All right,
But
thank you.
I'll report on that as soon as we get it.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 9, committee reports.
Do we have any committee reports tonight?
None.
None to report? Okay. Next item, Madam
Item
Clerk.
10, unfinished business, none this evening. Item 11, under new business agenda item. Item 11A, this is a public hearing, property address 6400 Southwest 8th Street, West Miami, Florida, 32144, special use permit index number 2024-002, applicant 6400 Property LLC. Applicant requests a special use permit for the property at 6400 Southwest 8th Street, West Miami, Florida, 32144. The property is zoned for C commercial, and the applicant is requesting to allow for an adult daycare center that will be complementary to the existing Univida Medical Center operating on the property, zoning ordinance 282, section 281. This is a public hearing, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you. So since it's a public hearing, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at this time. If anyone would like to speak on this item, you're welcome to come forward now. You're the applicant, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I want to open the public hearing. I'll close it, and then I'll have you speak
Okay,
right
thank
after
you.
that. So does anyone want to speak on this item from the audience? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at this time, and welcome, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Juan Carrera. I'm at 221 Southwest 42nd Avenue, 3rd floor, Miami, Florida. I'm the attorney for Univida Medical Centers, and we have presented a petition, a request to file a special use permit for an adult daycare facility at the existing Univida Medical Center. I have with me today Mr. Jose Enrique Cueto, I'm sorry about that. And he's going to give a little presentation, if you don't mind, so you can see the facility and what we want. And he's loaded up with a...
Oh, sure. Thank you. Please come forward, Mr. Cueto.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Board. As Mr. Carrera mentioned, my name is Jose Cueto, 850 Northwest 42nd Avenue, Suite 201 for the record. I think staff might have a presentation handy. Okay,
Yes,
fantastic.
one moment. IT is coming.
We just wanted to share with the board and with the public what we're seeking in the way of a special use permit for an adult daycare facility wellness center at this location at 6400 Southwest 8th Street. And apologies for the date. We had it set for last week, but Hurricane Milton did not cooperate. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Just a little bit about Univida for those who may not be familiar. We've been in the city of West Miami for some time now. It's a medical, I'm sorry. I think the two screens are showing a different. Oh, perfect. There we go. Univida is a leading healthcare provider dedicated to providing comprehensive services to our patients, mostly the Medicare 65 and over population, but we do service all ages, not only 65 and over. Of course, we're trying through the business, through Univida Medical Centers, improve the well-being and the health of our patients by delivering high-quality health services. And as you'll see, for those of you who have been to the center, it's primary care, dental, optometry, and a number of services being provided to the residents of West Miami. This location, 6400 Southwest 8th Street, was inaugurated in 2022. We're currently serving over 50 patients a day and providing those services that I mentioned earlier, ultrasound, optometry, even hyperbaric therapy, which is one of the differentiators of Univida Medical Centers. What are we trying to achieve through this petition? Provide for necessary elderly care at the facility, complementary to the services that are already there, enhance our ability to service those patients, provide a more comprehensive offering, allowing the patients to stay on site and do more in terms of activities, recreating, socializing, and of course support local jobs and economic activity. The adult daycare will bring additional employment to the area and to the center. Just in the way of location and providing a little bit of context, it's an existing space, so this petition is not requesting or requiring any construction whatsoever. This is a space that was built and obtained a certificate of occupancy earlier this year. It's making that space, or allowing that space to operate as an adult daycare. And we just wanted to share with the commission, with the board, a little bit about the space. It's a 3,000 square foot annex to the existing medical center. It was completed, like I mentioned earlier, in July of this year, serving those existing patients, not additional patients, rather the patients that are already enrolled at the center. And it will provide an area for those patients, the elderly, to congregate and enjoy meals, entertainment, and other activities. So we feel all in all this will be a good thing for the community. And finally, just a few photos of the center, top-notch facility, high ceilings, all of the amenities, bathrooms, recreating hall, a kitchen for the serving of meals, and much more for the residents of West Miami and others that are hopefully going to make use of this space. And with that, that's all this evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present and submit this item for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Cueto.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Any comments from the board or any questions?
No questions. Great presentation, and it is a great amenity to have here in the community for our residents and for everyone around the area. So thank you for bringing that forward, and looking forward to seeing it get done.
Thank you, Commissioner Chavez.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So far, you have been doing a good job there. So far the work has been just to know what the symptoms, and then the diagnostic so far, right?
Yeah.
Do you make a diagnostic? Now you're expanding. You're expanding the taking care of the people. And also the over 65, you will produce your whatever entertainment, art, all these things that make their life more comfortable and more happy. So I think what you're doing is what has been doing here for a while, but you're doing a good job there because you have not only you, because you are two nice gentlemen, but you have a good stuff there. You have a good professionals there, very good. Rodriguez is a star.
Yeah.
And I tell you, Don Francisco is another star. Everybody's
He's a superstar.
So, no, I agree. This is the product you have is A1.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I make a motion to approve this.
Madam,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
what did you say the capacity was?
We're currently seeing about 50 patients a day, Commissioner.
So is this going to be a senior center facility?
This is complementary to the medical center, so the same patients that are currently enrolled and being serviced by the medical center will have the ability to, in between the appointment or as they wait for their appointment or after their appointment, utilize the amenities of the wellness center of the adult daycare and spend time there with their colleagues, doing those recreational activities, being fed, having meals, breakfast, lunch. Currently, we don't have those facilities at the medical center.
So that they don't necessarily have to go to a doctor's appointment to be there?
Most of the time, they coincide. It's an internalization of the use, but strictly speaking, they could, in theory, use the wellness center on a day that that there's not a medical appointment on that day.
So,
But generally, the business model dissuades that type of use. They're supposed to be there mostly when, when they're receiving medical services and the like.
okay. But let's just say that they're at home and they don't have a medical appointment that day and they want to go there.
Yeah, they can come use the,
they can come.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
And what are the times of operation that this facility?
8 till 4:30 is the time, the hours of operation to most of our wellness centers.
And will they get there on their own?
The
Or,
majority of our patients arrive via transport service. We operate our own buses. Maybe you've seen them around town, picking up patients and dropping them off at the center. Very few patients, as you can imagine, especially elderly patients, drive on their own. And so therefore, I would say 50–60% of our patients arrive on transport. And there's a drop-off pickup area, ADA compliant, that allows the patients to ingress and egress in a safe manner.
okay.
I just,
Thank you.
I just want to make another comment. When I talk about Rodriguez, it's Dr. Rodriguez. I've been with the Jackson Memorial for years, and he is an excellent, excellent professional. And he, I know, the attention that you're giving, I know people that are going there, and very professional, very good, very good. I'm very happy we have that center here.
Thank you. I believe we had a motion from Commissioner Suarez.
Madam Vice Mayor, we need to read the resolution.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yes, item 11B, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami relating to zoning, approving a special use permit for application 2024-002, submitted by Univita Medical Center for the operation of an adult daycare center at 6400 Southwest 8th Street, Miami, Florida. The center will serve both current and new members of the adjacent medical facility owned by 6400 Property LLC, listing requirements for special use permit thereof and other terms pursuant to zoning ordinance 282 and subject to approval from any other state and federal agencies, providing for an effective date. So, motion by Commissioner Suarez.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yes,
Later.
and on the motion, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening. Okay, next item.
Yes. Next item, item 11C. This is a second reading and a public hearing, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami relating to methods of providing official publication notice, authorizing the use by the city of official notice by publication on a publicly accessible website as provided by Florida law, providing for severability, codification, and an effective date.
Okay, public hearing is open on this item. If anyone would like to speak at this time, I welcome you.
Yolanda Aguilar, 6404 Southwest 12th Street. Is this the intent of this ordinance? I want to know if it's making it easier for the general public to have access to legal publications?
Mr. Manager, I'll defer to you.
The state legislature believed this would make it much easier. The current law requires these notices in a newspaper of general circulation, which, if I may venture an opinion, practically nobody reads.
Correct.
This law allows you to put it onto a website that is managed, in this case, by Miami-Dade County, where everyone can go and see the notices of every city, actually, but of the city you're interested in. And it does require that you notify your residents that this is a system of notice, but it's thought to be, and seems to me to be, much easier way for people to see what's happening. I don't think those printed notices ever meant much,
Does,
unless you made a mistake and didn't print it.
and I thank you for the clarification. One last question. Will this also mandate that the city publish legal notices or public hearing notices or any type of important required notice that requires publication? Does it require for the city to publish it on its website? Or just using the county's portal on that?
I do not believe that the statute itself requires
Can we get clarification?
publication on your own website, but I think that is commonly done, and the council could
I-
certainly make it known informally.
I don't think we should be guessing on this. I think we can maybe get those answers from Ms. Aguilar later, and because the public hearing portion of this is not a Q&A between
Right.
us, so.
In any event, this does
I would
not
love to
change.
address the question. If we can get that answered for her after the meeting, that would be great, but I don't want to keep going back and forth if we're not sure about the answer to that.
I appreciate your time and your response, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Anybody else for public hearing on this item? Okay, seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any comments from the board? No?
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
Do we need a roll call on
Yes.
this?
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote? Commissioner Suarez? how do
Yes.
you vote? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item?
Yes, Madam Vice Mayor, item D is a presentation of proclamation to our resident Anthony Barona, but he could not make it for today, so we asking deferral of this item.
Okay. If it's okay, I would like to take, actually, I'll wait for the mayor to get here for that. That's fine. Let's continue. I'll wait for the
Okay.
mayor to get here.
Item 11E, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, clarifying city authority to undertake certain remedies in connection with dangerous nuisance situations threatening public health and safety due to abandoned or non-maintained property or other neglect by owners, providing for enforcement, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Motion.
Okay, we have a
Second.
motion. Okay, roll call?
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you
Yes.
vote? Commissioner
Yes.
Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Okay, next item?
Next item is item 11F, and this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, providing that no trucks of 3 or more axles shall drive on Sylvania Boulevard within West Miami city limits, with exceptions providing for enforcement, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Motion.
Thank you. Just a comment, I know
This
it's
is a
first reading. Yes.
yes.
Mr. Manager, could we look into if we can do this on the residential roads as well, the local residential roads? I know it's first reading, so it's coming back to us.
I will
but
get together with the city engineer and see where we can
I
expand it to.
appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you
Yes.
vote? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
4-0, item passes, and the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance will be heard before the City Commission on November 6, 2024, at 6 p.m., as well as the previously read ordinance. Next item is item 11G. This is a first reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, prohibiting parking of vehicles on swells on 12th Street and 13th Street between 57th Avenue and 58th Avenue, other than by residents and guests of such residents displaying parking identification permits in their vehicles, providing for enforcement, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Motion.
I'd like to, can I amend this since it's the first reading? Can I do the amendment now today?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Manager, do you have the streets? I would like to amend this to include the streets that are adjacent to Sylvania, the 16th Street in that Sylvania area. If you have the streets for me, to include those, where the residents are having issues with parking on their swales.
Should be
What
59.
area is that, Vice Mayor?
It's the area around the school, the Sylvania Elementary School, that we have an issue with that school right now in terms of parking. Some of the aides that are coming in are parking in the residential area, and it's creating an issue for our residents. Give me 1 second. I had that a second ago, and
So that would be south of the school,
south of the school.
south of 16th Street.
It's Southwest 16th Terrace, Southwest 17th Street, Southwest 59th, and Southwest 67th. So it's the streets around Sylvania.
Okay.
62nd, I'm sorry, 60th Court, 59th Avenue, 17th and 18th.
Okay, and this will come back to us anyway, so we can review
That is correct.
the exact streets. Okay, I
And
appreciate
what we're
that.
doing with this is a pilot project in which the residents will get a placard where they can put for the residents and guests to be able to park in the swales and everybody else. It's basically to restrict the parking. It's an unfortunate issue, but we're having an issue with the parking on the swales, ruining the swales and ruining the appearance of our community.
Well, I think.
Yeah, I made a
Do you have any-
motion.
Okay, I'll second that,
With-
thank you.
With the amendment.
Yeah, with the
What's
amended.
the amendment, I'm sorry? What's the amendment? The amendment, what is it?
The amendment is to add the area around the Sylvania
Okay,
School.
understood. Yeah, we talk about that. All right.
To add the avenues and
Got it.
streets.
So I'll second that with the amendment.
The ordinance as amended, motion by Commissioner Blanes, second by Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis. On this time, the mayor, Mr. Attorney, does the mayor vote on this item? Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, it's a first reading. I was here for sufficient discussion. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem voting on it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, on the motion, Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes,
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
5-0, item passes.
thank you. And I apologize for my tardiness. Thank you for filling in for me, Vice Mayor. Let's go to the next item, please.
Yes, item 11H, this is a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, extending the contract with Continental Strategy, LLC, for lobbying services in Washington, D.C. for an additional 1 year, authorizing the city manager to execute the appropriate documents for this contract extension and to allocate the necessary funds, providing for an effective date.
So this is our federal contract. As you know, the earmark process is back in full swing, and we've been advocating with Congressman Salazar and Congressman Jimenez and the rest of the Florida delegation and others nationally and the Speaker. It's a continuation of that contract, and I think it's been rewarding so far, and I hope it continues to be rewarding.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
yes,
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
5-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item.
Item 11I, yes?
Yeah, 11I is in here in error. This is a contract extension that's already been previously approved. We're
No,
deferring.
11I on the new agenda, or is this 11I on the old agenda or the new agenda?
Yeah, I thought it was this is the old agenda. We were,
11I on the new agenda is
No,
the
11I,
the
no.
mutual agreement.
No. You don't have the amended agenda. 11I is a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute a voluntary mutual agreement between the City of West Miami and the City of Hialeah for the exchange and collaboration of social, cultural, and artistic pieces, traditions, and ideas, accepting the donation of a sculpture, Hialeah Beat, from the City of Hialeah, providing for transmittal, providing for an effective date.
So this is something I've been working on with Mayor Bovo and Hialeah for a little bit now. The Hialeah, the sculpture that is placed right in front of the City Hall in Hialeah is actually designed by a resident of West Miami for 40 years. And someone we've been having talks with for a while about designing a sculpture for the city separately. And I got to talking to Mayor Bovo. They actually have an issue over there during Christmas time every year, where they got to move the sculpture, that's where they put the tree. And I got to talk to him about ways the cities can collaborate, and this was the first of many ways we will be collaborating with Hialeah, hopefully. And as part of that, they'll be donating us that sculpture for our public use. So if anyone has any questions, you can direct them to me on this item.
Is it going to be renamed West Miami Beat?
The artist has indicated, I leave it to the artist, but the artist has indicated that he will want to rename the sculpture.
Yeah, I know.
Motion.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a second? Call the roll?
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item?
Item 11J, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida relating to grants, approving the interlocal agreement between the City of West Miami and Miami-Dade County Transportation Planning Organization, fiscal year 2025 municipal grant program to implement a feasibility study to improve mobility, safety, connectivity, and accessibility for pedestrians and bicyclists, accepting the grant total amount of $80,000 to complete a West Miami Streets bicycle and pedestrian safety plan, authorizing the city manager to execute said agreement to and other grant-related documents as required and providing an effective date.
Mr. Manager, do you want to add anything?
It speaks for itself. It's a grant that we've gotten from the TPO for us to be able to study our Southwest 16th Street corridor, for us to be able to come up with a bikeway and a pedestrian-friendly connectivity through our community.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for the manager on this?
No questions, but good job, Mayor. Thank you being on the
Motion.
TPO and helping us get this.
Motion.
Hopefully a lot more.
Th-
Yeah,
th-
go ahead.
This is the 16th Street, right, project?
Yes.
Make a motion.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Who wants to get the second there?
I'll take it.
Commissioner Chavez is the second. Call
Okay,
the roll, please.
Commissioner Chavez, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez, Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis,
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item?
Item 11K, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida relating to grants, approving a Florida Recreational Development Assistance Program grant in the amount of $200,000 for recreation center and park development, authorizing the city manager to execute the grant agreement P25049 between the City of West Miami and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and other grant-related documents as required, and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Manager, any context you want to add?
Well, this was a resolution that we had asked the commission to allow us to apply for this application under Resolution 2023-64. We were awarded this contract. We were awarded the grant. This is the contract portion of it, where we enter into the contract with FERDAP for us to be able to bring the pickleball courts and other improvements to our rec center.
Any questions for the manager on this?
Again, just a comment. I feel like every meeting, we have a couple grants here that are coming in, so we have to obviously say thank you to Jenny, doing a phenomenal job. So I wanted to give you a shout out.
Motion.
Very appropriate. We have a motion.
Second.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Is Commissioner Blanes, how do you
Yes.
vote? Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis,
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Next item, please.
Next item, 11L, a resolution of the City of West Miami urging Congress to support the Homeowners Premium Tax Reduction Act of 2024, introduced by U.S. Senator Reed Scott, which amends the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to create an above-the-line deduction for certain homeowners' insurance premiums, providing for transmittal of this resolution to appropriate elected officials, and providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by Vice Mayor Milian Orbis.
Vice Mayor, anything you want to add?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes. So the Homeowners Premium Tax Reduction Act of 2024 was introduced by Senator Rick Scott, and it offers relief by allowing homeowners to deduct up to $10,000 of their insurance premiums from their taxable income. We know that many of our residents here face high insurance costs due to the weather risks in South Florida, and this legislation would help to ease that financial strain if it does pass. So, I'm asking that the City of West Miami urges Congress to pass this bill because in that way, we show our commitment in supporting policies that benefit the financial well-being of the community. So I would ask for your support on this item.
Absolutely. Recently, when Senator Scott was down, we had a roundtable on
Motion.
this proposal. It's very good.
Thank you.
We have motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Motion, what was the vote?
I voted
Vote,
yes.
vote, your vote, your vote.
Yes.
Yes, 5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
Yes, item,
Can we take
Yeah.
item, I'm sorry, can we take item U out of order at this time?
item Q?
Item U.
U, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. Okay, item U, out of order. Item U, proclamation declaring October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. This item is sponsored by Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Clerk. So we have a proclamation declaring the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, and we celebrate that in October every year. We're committed to raising awareness about domestic violence and supporting survivors in our community. And this proclamation highlights the importance of education and prevention and action to combat this issue. And we are actually honored to have Ms. Elizabeth Regalado from the Miami-Dade Domestic Violence Oversight Board, who's here today with us to accept this proclamation on behalf of her organization and others in our community who continue working and advocating for those affected by domestic violence. So I'd like to welcome you, Liz. Come on down, and so we can present you the proclamation. And I want to have all of us join me down. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted, let me just say a few words. We had two events. Our board wants to make a lot of noise about domestic violence. To the residents too, we want to raise awareness on prevention and intervention, the resources that are available. It happens in all our neighborhoods, in all our cities. Unfortunately, we wake up every day to the news of somebody killing themselves or killing their partner. 1 out of 4 women and 1 out of 7 men are victims to intimate partner violence. And those families come with children, the majority of them. Our shelters are full every day. We can't build, we have funding thanks to the state legislature that passed a food and beverage tax, which is collected on participating restaurants that allows us to construct and operate domestic violence shelters, which are very different from homeless shelters. So we are your board, your advisory board, not just to the county commission. We want to hear from you, what you think are your needs, what your residents think, and come here and make some noise about it. Thank you very much.
This proclamation will be delivered to you, frame and pretty, frame and pretty.
It's pretty. Thank you.
Okay, a couple more pictures. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I have something for you. From my board to each of you, a little awareness card.
Thank you.
Eso hay que grabarlo y ponerlo en el...
Oh, I've done that one for a long time. No, I have, really.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Liz.
Madam Clerk, next item, please. Item M.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, yes, item M is a report by the Office of the City Clerk on the City of West Miami, November 5th, 2024 special election, which is charter amendment questions. And it is my duty to give notice that on November 5th, 2024, proposed amendments to the charter of the City of West Miami, Florida will be submitted to the voters at the election to be held on November 5th, 2024, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The polling place shall be the Rebecca Sosa Multipurpose Facility, 1700 Southwest 62nd Avenue, West Miami, Florida, 33155. This election is conducted in conjunction with the Elections Department and conducted by Miami-Dade County Elections. Early voting starts on Monday, October 21st, and will end on Sunday, November 3rd, and the polling places will be opened from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Again, 2 charter amendment questions are proposed to the electors of the City of West Miami for the election of November 5th, 2024. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, at this time, we would like to request deferral of the following items. Item 11N, O, P, and Q.
And the Mayor, the reason for that is because I need names from every single commissioner for who they want to be putting on these boards so that we can bring it to the next meeting and have the names ready.
Yeah, and item O, P, and Q, I want to have a conversation with you and the clerk regarding the rotating. One of the things we're trying to fix in the charter amendments, but make sure that we get that correct from the get-go, so we don't have the situation we had with the other boards. Code enforcement's we already fixed that, but I want to make sure that we get the seats and all that stuff sorted away, so we do that correctly. With that, if anybody has not thought of who they're going to appoint, please do so probably by next meeting would be when it comes back. So, have that ready so we can get those boards kicked off.
Mr. Mayor, may I also?
Go.
These boards are actually under the Public Meetings Law and the Public Records Law of the state of Florida. So if possible, if all of the newly appointees could come to a single meeting, it would be easier to brief them.
That would be ideal. I think Vice Mayor, I know the Youth Commission is your item. I think that we probably separate the 2 other boards of the Youth Commission. I think we Youth Commission separately. They're kids, so it's a little different conversation how you train them, I would imagine. So we probably take those separately. The art advisory and the branding, and any new code enforcement members, try to get them in one, and then the Youth Commission in a separate training. That's more suited to their, ability to understand what the rules are. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Can I get a motion to defer, please?
Motion.
A motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. On items R, S, and T, does anyone want to speak about them individually? Or do you want to take them all together?
Take them all together. I just wanted to point out Officer De La Hoz here in the back real quick. In 5th grade, she was my DARE officer, so this kind of ties into the red ribbon a little bit. She knew the red ribbon, the proclamation was coming, and we had a conversation about DARE, and she did it for a long time, so just want to thank her for the work that she did. This proclamation is just as much yours as it is theirs, just so you know that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor, I know you have two of them. Do you want to take them, or do you want to?
No,
Go for it.
just read them out. So we celebrate a lot of things in October, and we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15th through October 15th. So we have a proclamation declaring September 15th through October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month and celebrating, all the contributions of the Hispanic community, especially West Miami. We're 85% Hispanic, so we take pride in celebrating our rich culture and history here. And our other one is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which it seeks to raise awareness about the fight against breast cancer, which affects countless women in our community and families. And it's intended to promote early detection and education and help save lives. So I appreciate your support on these items. And I believe Commissioner Suarez wanted to make a friendly amendment.
Yes.
Yes, you wanted to co-sponsor?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
He wanted to co-sponsor Hispanic Heritage Month.
Sounds good.
Yeah. With that, I ask for your support. Thank you.
Can we get a motion on items R, S, and T with that amendment, with
Motion as amended.
Second?
a
Second.
motion and a second? Call the roll. Actually, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none. Items pass. Next item, please.
I think that covers the agenda in its entirety. Just consent agenda items, none this evening. 13, item 13, go to the order.
Anyone for go to the order? No, we're entering into the good weather months, so we look forward to some good outdoor events. We're going to try to do what was a very good event last year, the Camping Under the Stars. It was really good, even though we did it in the heat last year. So this year, we're going to try to do it in better weather, and I think the kids and the parents will really enjoy it. I know we have, what other events do we have coming up?
We have the Halloween event on the 31st.
And that's going to be at Cooper this year, correct?
It's going to be at Cooper this year because unfortunately elections have taken over the rec center, so we've had to move this over to Cooper for this year, where we'll have rides, foods, and candy for all the residents starting at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Any else for go to the order? I just want to say one thing. When obviously, thankfully, we were spared from Hurricane Milton, but it was a nice trial run. We hadn't had a hurricane in a while down here in Miami, so it was a nice trial run on the preparation, and I think staff did a very good job in getting us ready, and so we're ready for when the big one comes, hopefully. We're not
out of hurricane season yet.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I said we're ready now. With that, anyone for motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.